era, to be vulnerable was like you're a sucker, you soft. It's like you can't really speak that real without being played, right? So what are your thoughts on vulnerability, especially in music, and what made you vulnerable enough to share on your third album, We Are Renegades, about the things that you are suffering from on a human side, and now let us in to that? Because I feel you, at any point you could have done it, but there was some about that moment that made you do Still Standing with Jill, and it looked like a proclamation, like, look, this is what's going on, but why at that point?
We just, at that point, we had officially went independent and teamed up with Duck Down, and my manager, Guy Route, at the time was like, you gotta speak this shit from the soapbox, from the street corner. And you gotta bring it from, let people see you. And who is Pharoahe? You've been a bullet and you've been these different things, but who are we dealing with? And it just put me in that space to try and dig a little deeper. Like, I knew those lessons from Tupac being very revealing and Biggie being very revealing, and how you need to let people in, and being truthful. I think for me, is like hip hop, I feel like the audience can really see when somebody's lying and not, and when they're being honest. So I never felt like, let me front. That's another word from back in the days that was like,
Yeah.
who are you fronting? So with that song, I was just like, I need to pull from a space that's really real, and the good and the bad, and something that is uplifting for me, that also could help me back, also uplifted me, And so with the asthma, it's something that I struggle with, but it kind of pushed me in a way in the beginning to be like, yo, lyrically and performance-wise, you gotta fight this lung demon and push past these points, which is why I was like, go past the bar. It was like a inner battle. So to write a record about that, just and drop it, how this affected me in my life, and then to get it to Jill, and then for her to call me in tears on the phone like, yes, I'll do this record with you. I love this record. It's huge, I'm emotional thinking about it because it's still huge. Because at that time, we're just working with phone calls and Rolodex and relationships. And she's one of my favorite female vocalists of all time.
Me too.
So for her to call and say, let's do it, that's like, if you hustling, we independent, I'm like, this is it. The dude we sampled, when we sent them the song, called my manager back like, dude, this shit's crazy. So I knew it was something in the vibe, and shout out to M Phases. Even off the rip, there was something in the vibe of the record that pulled at your heartstrings.
M Phases, good gracious. I would say, like, man, and I say this from the heart, if I had that kind of power, I would holler at a Nike, an Adidas, or any of these people to really like sign you on. Why? Because this hip hop is a sport in every aspect of it. We still gotta work. For a person like you, you're a technician with your words. It's like when you have a pun who you can hear the Nas, the Coogee rap and all that, and then you hear him in his size do the things that he was doing. I'm like, you listen to Pharoahe, the multisyllabic and the way that you do it, and then find out that you have asthma. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you truly are one of those that walk amongst us without the cape on.
Oh, man.
But you definitely are a cape wearer.
Now everybody turn up, don't front, don't sleep, let's sleep, get live, get crunk about some hardcore. Yeah, we like it, Get money, turn a $20 bill into a straw and just do